Greetings, folks. Are you either a firm believer that handing over to the serf the ability to read was a key factor in the collapse of feudalism? Or instead you came to the realization that maybe being a peasant wasn't too bad? Sure, you had plagues, Viking raids, and the occasional British lord demanding to snuggle with your cute, hairy Scottish girlfriend during your first night of wedding. Just like Mel Gibson told us, just acceptable prices to pay because the Industrial Revolution and its consequences allowed for this video to happen. So, real talk, I try to make this build fun. How, you ask? Well, it's actually a peasant. Your gear is trash gathered in the field. Your weapon is a stick, and your gloves are still dirty. And by playing this build, you may experience side effects like illiteracy, enhanced body strength, and affordable housing. So, if you're looking for max damage, this build ain't it. It's still strong, however you can find the link for my warrior build in the description instead, they are both two-handed builds after all. But Pasta, how is it possible that a dirty broken stick can't hit as hard as a legendary lance? Forged in the endless depths of the abyss, wielded by one of its elusive and very ancient dark guardians, a hateful king whose name has been forgotten in time. Well, I don't know, you tell me that. Let's begin. First of all, there is only one mandatory item to make everything here work, and that's our peasant wrap. Now, these gloves are very simple, very easy to understand. Any peasant type weapon, in our case a scythe, or even a shovel, or a pitchfork, a pickaxe, it will double their damage. You will see this one in the tooltip because, for example, we have 670 in the tooltip right now. If I equip the gloves, it will drop down. So TLDR, no gloves, no build. Very simple. Now, this is a pure warrior build, which means that it's compatible with all types of warrior gear. For this build, because I wanted to be thematic, we went down with the roots of the earth. So we went with 3 pieces of Ravenous. This is one is crafted from the spoils of Abugane. All of them except the pants are from Act 2. So you finish Act 1, you play whatever you want with a normal weapon, you get the gloves, and you kickstart this build immediately. You don't have to wait too much for this. If you don't want to craft, we have a lot of different options. We'll just require a little more dexterity than the one that I put. You can go with Crow. Crow is an amazing helmet. In alternative, you can use Lancelot or even Gawain. For chest, you have a little more options. You can go a little more defensive if you want to use a Titan's armor because you want to have more HP. We stack a lot of HP on this build, but not as much as a Titanium Tonic build. You can go with Lancelot, you can go with Gawain. All have different bonuses. For example, if you upgrade a piece of Gawain armor, it will give you more health. If you upgrade Lancelot, you will get more physical damage. For pants, we're using Volkers. This is the only item from Act 3 that we use. Volker, however, will just give you critical damage. If instead you want to get Dual Knight Trousers a little earlier, you get this one in Act 2 from the duelist Beherit. You can also use Fledgling from the Children of Morrigan questline alongside the cross set. You get this by siding with Self in Act 1, and as you complete the various quests, you will get more pieces of gear. For boots, similar as I said before, Gawain is a more defensive option, Lancelot is a more offensive option, and Crow will give you a amount of criticals that cannot be increased. Having high critical is important in this build, especially in Act 1, so you will have to either put more points in perception or use more crit from gear. As rings, this is as usual for the warriors. I personally prefer Perilous Orbs in both slots. The new game plus rings will give you more compared to the base game. Both of these rings are from Act 1. For our back item, you really have 3 options here in my opinion. The early entry is Dual Knight from Abigor, Act 1. It will give you 10 crit and stamina regeneration is kinda nice on a 2-handed build. In Act 3, you have 2 choices. You can craft yourself Winged Cavalier backplate. It will give you 25 critical percent, or you can use Ashen Veil. Ashen Veil is not crafted, but you need to finish pretty much the entire game because it's in the Sir Galahad tomb. Meanwhile, Winged Cavalier is craftable as soon as you enter the Swain village. Location is gonna be later in the video. For Amulet, I'm gonna be honest with you, this build needs extra damage. So, Novice Ogre Hunter is really good for this build because we self-heal a lot, we self-heal through our two-handed attacks, we self-heal through crits. However, it's not the only viable option. If you need crit, Stone Warden crafted from the Blacksmith questline in Act 2, when you rescue the boy in the mine, is also very good during leveling. It will not come improved in New Game Plus, so it's still gonna be 10. The alternative will be also from the Blacksmith questline in Act 3, that you can make yourself a Wyrdstone trinket if you need more health. However, we do not stack as much health without using the Titan chest to make these items so meaningful. Alternative, however, would be of a Flame if you want to play with burn damage. Important note, our relic setup will change a lot. I will highly advise you to get stamina relics. This one you get from gambling item, you will get a lot. I'm talking about Amber Stride. And then the other one are Eternal Guardian Seal. These one are not gambled, but they're spread through the world. On Map Genie in the link in the description, you can filter out for relics and see where they are. This is mainly so that we have enough HP and more importantly stamina. Now, for weapon, we go with Wyrdscythe. You don't have to play Wyrdscythe. However, it's a peasant weapon that I found having the highest amount of damage. Of course, on it, we're gonna use very simply melee damage relic setup. You can use other type of relics if you want to around with status effect, that is mainly up to you. The alternative would be Weird Shovel. A small note, a Weird Shovel is not the same as a normal shovel. A Weird Shovel and a Wyrdscythe both are drops from peasants in the fields next to the second act city, which I cannot spell, I'm sorry. Both are good, there is only a slight difference, Wyrdscythe is a little better. There are also one-handed weapons, like the pitchfork that you can find by killing peasants. If you want to go dual wield, you can also do that. Okay, let's look at our stats. As you can see, we are an endurance stacker. Ideally, you want to hit 80% melee critical chance. However, as I always say, especially on 200 melee builds, I like to be 100% all the time, so that every hit feels good. On the setup that I offered, we don't really put points in dexterity, spirituality, and practicality. If you're using other pieces from the crypts, Lancelot, Gawain, you will need points in dexterity. If you're using parts of the Children of Morrigan quest items, you will need some points in practicality. Okay, fine, Pasta. How do I allocate points? Let's go through this very quickly. As you are starting out as a melee build, I will always give you the same advice. 6 points in strength, 6 points in endurance. These allow you to use pieces of the Dual Knight set from Abigor. You can kill Abigor super easily in Act 1 with Blonde Transfusion, if you want to rush that set and not stress yourself, or you can get it later. Knight set is also good. Pieces of Revenant, in that case, if you need, put some points in dexterity, but regardless, 6-6, then we're gonna boost this at 12. If you want to use two-handed weapon in Act 1, I like Big Bonk. To level up, it's amazing. Afterward, 10, 15, 15, 10, and well, you get the gist of it. Now, you're gonna say, but Pasta, you had only 12 points of strength in the panel before. This number, the strength that you have, it's personal. While you level up, you want to ideally 15, let's say, especially if you want to be more comfortable with different items than the one that I used. In that case, 20-20. Afterwards, the only number that you need to look is your critical chance. Once your critical chance is good, then endurance. We convert endurance in melee damage. But Pasta, can't I just go full strength instead of endurance? Well, you can, but you will have less health. And against enemies that can retaliate, like Drasmus or Galahad in Act 3, you will have a bad time. Okay, I will assume that you're leveling up as a two-handed. Godly Physique, Maxed, Weapon of the Great Theft, two-handed, Brutish Fighter maxed, Fury without Fatigue maxed. We go in practicality, 1 point in body armor, 1 point in inner strength. This is what I meant when we convert endurance into melee damage. We go back in strength, 3 points in unstoppable force, max mighty blow, max enduring strikes, 1 point in unstoppable impact, 1 point in dominating presence. If you are using a blood ring or a weapon that applies a dot, take exploitation affliction now. Otherwise, wait. If you want a defensive layer on top of what you have, which is useful later on, put 3 points and get temporal sleep in dexterity. We're gonna take this later though. 2 points in executioner. We go in endurance because stamina management is annoying, especially on this build. Exercise, gaining momentum, back into the fray. This will make overexertion easier to go by. We go in perception, max extra lucky, critical cascade, go for the eyes. Max respite in cruelty, 2 points in deep wounds, 2 points in Aegis, 2 points in bloodthirst. Then we immediately go in practicality, 3 points in exploitation of affliction. Then we go in red death. As soon as you lock red death, you can do this whenever you want in Act 2. 3 points in plague warden, crying pain, long regret, give in and give up, 1 point in gripped enemies, 1 point max weeping success, max this one. We go back in practicality, 1 point in armor skin, max the best of fangs, max born in armor. We go in endurance, max increased vitality. We go back in strength, max perpetual swings, max giant grace, 2 points in determination, 3 points in exploitation affliction, and 1 point in gaining momentum. Then in dexterity, max quicken strikes, max onslaught. Then we go in practicality, 1 point in healthy appetite, 1 point in rejuvenation, 1 point in unmother blessing. We don't care about this one, but still, we are here for the extra 5% health. You can also take Revengeful Restoration if you want, but we have a lot of self-healing already on this build, so it's up to you. We're gonna take the Temporal Sleep now, if you didn't do it early. Don't bother taking, you can also take an extra dash if you want, that one is optional. And that's pretty much the build for you. Now we'll go through the location of all the items needed for this build.
All right, so
I should. You're here. Oh, to Leon, thank me.
Face every threat. Disturb my peace. I see fear in I will be your downfall.
And that's it, folks. Thank you for watching. If you got this far, please consider leaving a like and maybe even subscribing for more gaming content of questionable nature and quality. If you have any question or doubts, let me know in the comments below. I will try my best to get back at you. Have fun playing Tainted Grail, and I will see you in the next video.